Welcome to the West Indian Women Network. I am Priscilla Ramcharan here in the United States, originally from Trinidad and Tobago. And I have a lovely guest today who is also a participant in Read Ya Ting Poetry Contest with us. So we have Miss Sharon Underwood here. Please introduce yourself further.
Well, my name, as you heard, is Sharon Underwood, and I live in Ohio in the US, but I'm originally from Trinidad Central. Yay! And land of palm trees and warm weather, which we're not having right now. But I have been writing since the COVID lockdown, to be honest. So once that started, I just thought this is the time to do my project because I had just retired. Everything happened serendipitously. I had just retired, COVID happened, and then it was time to do this project I had in the back of my mind for years. And so these stories had been building up into the books that I have now. And so actually the first one I published is this one, and they're all bilingual. The artists are all from Trinidad, so we collaborate on WhatsApp a lot to get things done. And at the time, she was only 16 years old, the artist for this one.
Oh,
And her
wow.
mother is an artist in her own right. So, the whole family has that going on. And so, Lost in the Mangrove, of course, is based on a true place in Trinidad. I tend to follow the wildlife, special places, and wonderful things that happen culturally from the old days, new days of Trinidad and Tobago. And so
Lovely.
that book, after that book, soon after, I usually have two books going on. So while the artist is working on one, that's part of the writing process for me. I know I'm jumping ahead, but um, the artist for this is a teacher. She's an art teacher. And so I should have mentioned the name for the first one was Jaden Baggett. This one is Candace Sobers. And she was recommended to me by somebody else. And so the art in here is really special. And as you can see, the bright colors and everything. So she
It's
does really well.
beautiful.
Yes, yes, she's a true artist in her own right. So then we went to also bilingual, that book. And okay, I have to bring it back. The bird in here is this bird was endangered species in Trinidad. And I live in Ohio. Cincinnati Zoo conservationists work with the Trinidad Zoo conservationists to bring this bird population back. So
Wow.
I heard about that story from the person who was involved in the project. It was a 30-year project. And so
Wow.
bird has come back lively, healthy population. The main thing was that poachers were trying to get them to sell them, so it takes a village. So they
Right.
educated the whole village. Don't let these things happen and whatnot. So that bird, I heard about that story and it inspired me to write this story about this little boy. So who met the bird? Enough
Look at
said.
that.
And
Yeah.
so the art in it is really, really special. Like for instance, here's a page with the
Oh,
children.
wow.
Yeah, she does great work. She really does.
Indeed. Yes.
Yes. And then the third one is the way I've translated the other books. Each book has the translation on the same page or else front and back of the book. But this one is done separately
Oh,
because I
okay.
wanted to see, I still have that as in the back of my mind to introduce this to the schools in Trinidad and Tobago and see if they're interested. Because
Right.
this one is the Spanish version online, I'm not online, by itself. This is the
Hmm.
English version by itself. So for example, I was thinking if the Spanish students wanted to use this book as their resource, then they could do that. So
Perfect. I love that.
yeah, I was approaching it different ways. Some people want the translation right then and there. They want to see what's going on. Some
Right.
people, if it's a student, they really should have it separate,
Right.
can't see the English too much. And then the teacher could have the teacher copy. I call this teacher copy because I was a language teacher, ESL in Spanish, so I understand it from that point of view also. So I've been thinking about different ways to do it, and I'm gonna go back and forth. I can always get it published in a different format if I need to, depending on who wants it. So all
Gracias, señora.
de nada. Es un
Very
placer.
nice.
So yeah, I enjoy doing it bilingually. I really, really want to reach out to people who speak another language. As we're in the US, Spanish is a big deal.
Yes.
And in Trinidad and Tobago, Spanish is a big deal. So
Yeah.
I have to say I'm a little disappointed that in some of the schools they're not even introducing Spanish as a subject. So I grew up in Trinidad, of course, and I went to St. Augustine Girls, and I was in
Oh.
the languages stream.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, it's followed me until now, you know. So introducing Spanish at an early age is, or foreign language, you know, that's on my soapbox, is so important.
I
So
truly agree with you
yes.
100%. Having that bilingual opportunity to expand, you see, it does go with you really far.
It can go with me through the teeth. That's what I ended up doing. I taught, but you know, in
Mm-hmm.
any job sector, there's need for a foreign language. It could be in business, could be in banking, it could be in agriculture. You meet people everywhere who need, you know, help with a second language. So
Right.
I had all that in the back of my mind, you know. So
Yes.
I really want the Vennies who are living in Trinidad and Tobago right now to be introduced to the island. So I hope, you know, to find people who can introduce my books to them so they can understand what's going on, you know.
Absolutely. So, any of our viewers out there, Sharon's ready to expand and teach Trinidad, non-Trinidadians, everyone multilingual. I truly agree with you. And I feel like language, having that second language at an early age has fizzled out. And I don't understand why. Maybe mostly because of the lack of teachers or resources.
Mhm.
But now we have you.
Well, you know, I am trying, but you know, I really do feel here and there, people need to be encouraged to take a second language or see the reason why. You know, it's just so wonderful. You travel to a different country, if a Spanish speaking country, you want to know what they're saying.
Right.
You know, you want to be able
Absolutely.
to talk to local people. It's so friendly, gracias, hola, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
So,
just conversational, basic
yes,
vocabulary, things of
yes,
that nature. I truly agree. Maybe we could get something started.
seriously, because Instagram, social media, YouTube, all of them have all this going on.
Right.
You know, so much content creators out there, and I see them offering language in different ways. So just as an introduction, just follow one of these people and, you know, go from there.
Yeah, I was just talking with a teacher from New Jersey, and she's been creating courses for her entire career, and she recently discovered Chat GPT. So with Chat GPT, you can get a structure or an outline of how to create a, beginner course, intermediate, advanced, and then you'll have your conversation, your reading, listening, dictation, all of that. So it is
Mhm.
possible. I believe in you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. I must say I'm approaching as a writer,
Uh-huh.
ChatGPT with caution.
Indeed.
In,
Agreed.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah, because I publish out of Amazon, and so I don't know what Amazon would like to do about that. Initially, everybody is saying, go for it, go for it. But as a writer, ChatGPT or say AI I feel they will intrude too much on the writing experience.
It can take away from the
Yeah.
authenticity, but you
Yes.
have to make sure that you're going in and making sure your voice is now in the literature.
Yes, yes. And speaking of voice, there is even the AI voice. So,
Right. Am I
I'm
talking to a
hesitant.
human today? I don't
Right,
know.
right. I've
That's
been listening
wonderful.
to some of the voices on Instagram, and so
Uh-huh.
much of it is AI voices now, and it's all the same.
Yeah, it's monotonous. You don't feel that connection
No, no,
for
no. I
sure.
prefer an authentic voice. And, you know, that brings me around again to the books. I have them in the hard copy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working on the e-copies. A
Oh,
couple
good.
of them, I have e-copies already. I'm going to do in a couple of weeks start on or what do you call it? Not Audible.
Audiobook?
Yeah, the audiobook.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah. So, but I won't use Audible. I won't use the AI. I want to use an authentic voice. So,
That sounds perfect.
yeah, I really want to keep it Caribbean. So I don't want, a different kind of voice. I want it to reflect the work.
All right,
So
anyone out there, let us know.
yes, yes, yeah.
Oh,
Well, for myself, I'll have to be the first person to do maybe this one. This is a
uh-huh.
short one. So I'll try it with this one and then see how it goes because I need a
Yeah.
Spanish speaking voice also. And
Okay. Hola, Sharon. ¿Cómo
yeah,
estás?
there's muy ocupada, muy ocupada.
It's
Because I
just
know that,
totally so true. Well,
yes.
Sharon, I think in your speaking, you've answered your motivation, your inspiration, and what keeps you moving each day. But I
Mhm.
wanted to go back to where you said, you had this idea in mind for all these years, the projects, and, finally the stepping stone came in your life. And that's where you were able to actually move forward with the creation part. But what would you say to our viewers about that chunk of time where the idea was simmering, but it took something incredible to happen for you to finally say, all right, this is the moment?
Well, even if COVID had not happened when I retired, it was truly going to be my retirement project.
Ah,
But
okay.
the tie-in with COVID is that, writers need to stay at home and do the work. So I
Right.
wouldn't be flitting, I was not flitting here and there. So it
Right.
kept me at home. And so I had that home time. And then just getting out of retirement, I wasn't with that daily grind of going to school, the
Lucky.
students. At the end of the day, you're tired, dealing with
Yes.
tiredness at the end of the day. So, you know what I mean. So,
Yes.
the yeah, that time I truly could concentrate on the three books, and I was kind of doing like three books at the same time, dealing with three artists at the same time, and
Oh,
they
wow.
work with these kinds of books. The artists work at their own pace. Something
Right.
I've because you have in mind, okay, we'll be done with the project in 6 months. Okay, 6 months have passed and the project is not done yet. So if you want my advice, if you're writing, I encourage two things at the same time, at least two.
You can
Because
take a break from one, go
yes,
back. Hmm.
yeah, because the time that's to make good use of the time. Save time meaning a whole year.
Hmm.
What can you do in a whole year? So while one artist is working on one, I'm thinking of the story and figuring it out and typing it out and all those things. So and there is the third thing with my Spanish translation.
Right.
I usually use people I know. So, they're in good professions, they have the academic background, and so all of that has worked for me so far. But eventually I might have to use a translation service. So we'll see. If my
Yeah.
friends can't do it anymore, they're tired of me bugging them.
Oh, Sharon, find someone else. No, just kidding. Your friends love you. I'm sure they'll support you in any way. But to move towards the Read Your Ting poetry contest, what was that experience like?
Exciting. It took me out of my comfort zone. My comfort zone is writing. I've never written poetry before. I
Oh,
want to say when I was little, I used to be crazy about poetry, and I even
oh,
recited in elementary school in front of people. But it has been years down the line, right? So that gave me something. But the funny thing about that, it wrote
uh-huh.
itself. That poem wrote itself in 2 days
Oh,
because I already had it in my mind to do it as a story, and I changed the story into a poem. So it came easily, and after that
right.
I've been scribbling a few lines here and there.
Oh, look at you dabbling in poetry now. You're
Right,
welcome.
but Mr. How do you say his name? Cassie Senor
Yes, Cassie Sengor.
Senghor. I talked to him a little bit backstage,
Uh-huh.
and he says he writes every day. He's a good, motivating, inspirational type of person. So after
Absolutely. And
hearing,
he has so many stories about
yes,
Trinidad and the way back when days. Oof,
Yes,
really
and
wonderful.
the radio thing was a great experience, hearing the different voices, seeing what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Mine was off topic in a way because it was about a children's experience. That was an experience I had when I was little, and so I put it in the poem form. But
But I was gonna say yours was the only one that was not, all this big,
no, I am not
and
about
you're
the angst of everyday
right,
living, everyday life. I go back into my memories quite a bit. So
right.
yeah, because
Yours
when
took
I
you
was
back to that childhood. I
yeah,
really appreciated your poem.
yeah, my childhood has made all the difference in my books because that's where I get it's my childhood. And
Right,
so it's a kind of time that Trinidad, it's a bygone age even. You know, Trinidadians don't do those kinds of things anymore. You know, they'd have to
right.
have a relative in rural somewhere to show them how to roast cashew nuts and how to play marbles and things like that.
Yes,
But
yes.
talking to Mr. Cassie Singer, he was, interesting because of all the background he has. And then
Right. Do
I
keep in
enjoyed your
touch.
interviews that you had with the winners and just every single person. I thought it was truly an exciting experience. So you should
Good
do
to hear. Well, we're trying to make it annual, so keep working on those poems.
yes, yeah. So
Well,
I'll have to.
Sharon, yeah, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Finally, I've been inviting you on for some time now, but you're busy in Trinidad, back in Ohio, back here and there. Can't catch you.
Yes,
So
yes.
stay safe in all of your journeys. But do you have a final message for our viewers?
I have, well, the message I have is that take your ideas from anything and everything because I might see something in the news. I might know what's going on in the market currently,
Yeah.
and speaking different. I take things out of every experience I have. So the writer's block, I know that's a big deal, and I even
Mm.
experienced it recently.
Oh,
I thought, oh, what am I going through? But I took a long walk, and everything came rushing back. And I thought maybe it was the weather because I couldn't take a long walk.
your brain was frozen.
Yeah, my brain was frozen too. It was frozen too.
Oh,
If a writer's block, which I know people who do experience, do
right.
something to not bring it out, but to relax your mind, and it will come. It will
Oh,
come. I have
agreed.
my phone to put some ideas on and stuff like that. And
I
and my
love that.
current project is about mermaids. So
Oh, Katrina,
yeah,
inspiration.
well, we've talked. I know her personally.
Yeah.
I am working on mermaid stories right now.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
last year, well, that was my last advice too. Last year, so many personal issues came up. I didn't get much done, but I hope to do more this year.
Little by
So
little.
yes, little by little. Yeah, yeah. Don't forget it. Don't give it up. Little by little.
Indeed. And I think you're doing amazing so far.
Thank you.
So I'm so happy to catch you while you have some time. Hopefully, I can catch you again soon
Yeah,
before the year's over.
it'd be my pleasure. Yeah,
Awesome. So good luck with everything. And again, you'll send your links. We'll put it in the description box and reach out to Sharon with any ideas, concerns, questions, and to
sure.
support her work.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thanks,
It was great
Sharon.
talking to you. Thank
You
you.
too. Say
Bye.
bye.